So yesterday we discussed about the asynchronous epics. So can someone tell me about it, like what it is in layman language and why we use it and all?
Mm, Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Ashmiti, this is Shruti.
Go ahead.
Like asynchronous in general, what's the thing is like whatever the request we send to the Salesforce server, it is like when you request for one particular thing, like if you send one request and after the completion of that first request only, you could request for the other thing to the server. It's
One
not
second,
like
wait.
the
You're
parallel
talking
thing.
about synchronous or asynchronous?
Synchronous. I'm telling about
Okay,
synchronous. In
cool, cool.
general, synchronous is like this. You give one request to the server, and once that is completed, then you can pass the second request to the server. So only after the completion of that one, you can go ahead with the second request. But in when it comes to asynchronous, like you can put the request parallelly, and Salesforce server can take all the request and put it in a queue which is outside the organization, and based on its availability, it can just perform your tasks. So that is the thing. This is actually asynchronous concept is useful while you're doing all long running jobs, like when you're trying to update any bulk records, or while you're doing any future callouts, something like this asynchronous concepts are useful in Salesforce.
Okay, yeah, correct, correct. Absolutely, like good explanation. Anyone wants to add any piece to it?
Yeah, Smriti, just a point that in synchronous effects, like all the operations are running in one thread, and in asynchronous operation, the all like transactions are running in different threads. Like one doesn't have to wait for the completion of the previous transaction. It can just be in a queue, and it can run different transaction at the time.
Okay, and can someone tell, correct, correct. And can someone tell me that what comes in the asynchronous epics?
Yeah,
What
this
comes as in
batch.
Shruti?
As in the apex which comes like batch apex. What
Yeah,
are?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Future method is there, batch apex is there, scheduler is there, queuable class is there.
Correct, correct. So, so just have a quick revision on that. Let's check the pointers. Just a
Yeah,
second.
even the flex queues concept, though it is not implementation part, it's a concept. Flex queues is missing.
Yes, yes.
And
So,
one more thing, Smriti, that I mean, in asynchronous, we can handle a large number of records, like through batch effects, which
correct.
is normally not possible with synchronous.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think everyone is clear on asynchronous apex and why what are the advantages of them. So yesterday we completed future method. So now we will talking about the batch apex. So this article is already published in SFT Simplified. So you can go ahead and check meanwhile. Um, so let's have the discussion. So what is batch class? So it is used to run the large jobs. So for example, if you want to fetch more than 10,000 account records, so that is not possible using the synchronous process. But here in batch class, can someone tell what is the limit? How much we can, how much
200. Minimum is 200.
you are talking about?
In a
You are talking,
batch,
yeah, you're
Batch. Yeah. 50K.
actually, it is 50 million records,
correct,
Smriti.
correct. It's a 50 million records. I don't know who said 200. That is a default batch size. So
Yeah.
basically, sorry. So we can retrieve 50 million records and then process it in batches, which we will understand in some time. But 50 million is the limit. So that is a big number, right? Otherwise, in synchronous is just 10,000. So that is one of the big advantages. So now we will see the code as well, but just to understand little theoretical aspect, we have to use implements database dot batchable interface if we are using batch apex. So let me go there. Yeah, so we have to use database dot batchable interface. Okay, now if we are using this database.batchable interface, it comes with 3 methods: start, execute, and finish. Start, execute, and then finish. These are the 3 methods it comes with. Okay, and default batch size is 200. So if there are 1 lakh records which we are fetching and default batch size is 200, so basically it will do 1 lakh divided by 200 to process the record at a time. So it will be doing in batches. So what is the minimum batch size? Can someone tell me?
1.
Sorry?
1.
1.
1.
Yeah. Minimum batch size is 1, and I didn't put it because I wanted to ask you all. And what is the maximum batch size?
2000.
Correct. So this is some interview question. Sorry. This is an interview question which comes, so just check on that. Now let's understand about the start method. So before going with it, can someone explain like what is start method?
Yeah, Smriti, this is Priya here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I mean, I'm telling in a very simple language. Start method would be the place where the data would be supplied. That means we'll be requiring a query to get the data that we are going to pass it to the next method. Like in the execute method, the records that has to be processed, that record we collect in start method with the query.
Correct. So what we want to query, that comes in the start. Then let's see. This method is called at the starting of the batch job to collect the data on which the batch job will be operating. Sorry. The syntax is data, like 1 second. So syntax is that we use global database query locator and then use the start. And inside it, we put whatever the query we want to execute. So that is the first thing. Now execute. So for example, we wanted to get a list of records and we want to execute them. So now what will happen, depending on the batches, it will take that number of batch and execute. So for example, at a time, if we put that we want to execute maybe one set of batch, is in only one record. So it will just take one record and do the processing, whatever process we want. Then it will go back, it will take another record, again process it. Then it will take third one and again process it. So like that, it will keep on processing. So for instance, we want to put SFDC amplified to 5 records. And I am saying limit is 1. Batch size limit is 1. So what means? It doesn't mean that there is a confusion for new people, okay? It doesn't mean that it will just change SFDC amplified to 1 record. No. It means that at a time, it will just take 1 record and there it will put SFDC amplified. Then it will take second, third, fourth, fifth, like that it will complete its processing. So that is working in the batch. Then once the execute is completed, all the processing is completed for which we have done the query and then we have done the processing that add SFDC amplified to that name. Once that is done, then it goes to the finish method. And finish method is used for the post-performing operation. Like for example, if you want to send an email, for that we use the finish method. So once every process is done, now you want to send an email. So for that, you will be going to the finish method. So these are the 3 methods which you execute. And these are the basic syntaxes. Now let's see. So we talked about implements. We talk about the interface it use, that is database.batchable. We talked about, okay, we are coming to iteratable, but we talked that, okay, it has database.query locator and then we say starts and all, and it collects the query. Then we talked about execute to actually process the logic, and then there is a finish method that we understood. Now my question is, which you can obviously see also here, when we use iteratable instead of database.query locator, do you want to put in your words? As a, like right now, if we saw that we are using database.query locator, but if I wanted to use iteratable, when we use it?
It's iteratable only retrieves limit of 50,000 records. Like there is a Gartner limit on number of records that we can retrieve using SOQL query, right? It is 50,000. So iterable object also only accepts 50,000 records. So if you want to retrieve more than 50,000, we go with database.query locator.
Okay, okay. Someone wants to add any other point to it? So when I checked, it also said that it is used for the external objects. So just look into it. So that is for if your code access external objects, then use iteratable instead of database.query locator. So that is the syntax which we are having. We got it. Now let's understand the code. So the same code, if you are opening right now, so the same code is written here. We discussed about start. We are just fetching the query. Then we are doing the execute. In the execute, whatever account list we got, list of accounts, we are getting the accounts, right? So account list is there with us. We will be querying it. We will be adding SFTP simplified to it. We can put try and catch as a best practice. And then we are not putting anything in the finish. So that is one of the example. Now, once we have written the logic, we will come back to test class. Now we have to invoke a batch class. So to invoke a batch class, what we do is, we'll say database.execute batch, and then new batch, the class name, and then the batches. So if I put 1 at a time, 1 will process. If you put 5 at a time, 5 will process. We already discussed that the minimum limit is 1, maximum is 2000, by default is 200. So like that, it will be working. Once you click on execute, what should happen? Let me show you. See, so these are the records on which it worked. So I will open one of them and see SFDC amplified got added to the account name. That's what we checked, right? Now we can check from here. That is one thing. Another thing what we can go, that again comes in the interview questions. We can go to the Apex. Let me go back here. So for monitoring, what we can do, go to setup, enter Apex jobs, and in that you can find. So let me go there. So this is the one batch Apex example, and you can see that it shows, okay, total batch is 5, and then this one. Why 5? Because I put the number as 1. So they execute, because the limit was 5, so they processed and they made a batch of 5. And then this is the Apex class. So like that you can see. Also, if you want, you can do a query also. Let me check. So this is the same one. So you can add status, item process, total item number from the async job, where ID is this. So you will be getting job item process, total number of items, number of errors. You will get all the information here. And even if it is completed, you will get that. If it is fails, then it will show fail, and it will also show you that the details why it failed and all. So you can check more into it. So like that, you can. There are 2 ways to monitor. Again, that comes in interview. So focus on that. Now, before going to the test class, we will be understanding one more thing. Again, important in terms of interview, about the Apex batch Apex chaining. So my question is that, can we chain one batch Apex to another?
Yes.
How we can do that?
In the finish method, you can create an object for the batch class and then call the method.
Correct. So if you focus here, we can actually put database.execute batch, and then in the finish method, and then it will be linking it to the another batch, another class which we want to execute. So like that we can change.
We can put it in the start method also.
Okay, okay. So yeah, okay, fine. That is good to know. So we can do in start as well as finish. That's what you are saying.
Yeah.
Cool. Then why use batch Apex in Salesforce instead of normal Apex? We will come to that. Let's just check the test class as well. So the main thing which you need to see here is, so for the same batch Apex example, we are just writing a test class for it. So which we are just doing the iteration, and once we are adding it to the list, and then we have the test start and test stop. This is something which important in the interview point of view. Like yesterday we wrote for the future method, and we saw that test start and test stop is there. Same is the case with batch also, that we have to execute inside it, so it doesn't count the governor limit. And then we can check that whether it contains SFDC amplified or not, and like that we can do. Now, if we want to run test, for the new people who don't know, we will simply click on the run test for the test class. And how it will know that it is a test class? Because we have put the annotation, and because of that it will know. And then we go to the test, and here, so this is, it shows that it ran successful. And then let's see that overall coverage it has. So it is batch, right? Batch Apex example, it shows 90% coverage. Again, you click here and you can see that what is covered and what is not covered. So you can see that, okay, it is covered. So now, can someone tell me that how much coverage is needed to deploy to the next stage?
Minimum 75%.
75%. And what is like expectation? As in 75% is what is needed, but in companies generally, how much they expect it to be?
Depends, like 90 and above.
Yeah,
90%.
Yes, we expect 90% and above, but 75% is what we needed. So that is good. Now we are done with test class. We will just simply discuss again. We will go through the interview questions at the end, but like why we use batch Apex. So basically, normal Apex uses 100 records per cycle, but with batch Apex, the same is 200 record per cycle. Then the number of queries, and then we have like 15 million records which can be retrieved, which we just discussed. I think normal retrieval is 10,000, right, Soumya?
Yes, Smriti.
Actually, when you use database.query,
When we use database.query, there is
query,
no
it will
limit.
be 50,000. No, when we use database.query, it will be 50,000 records, Smriti.
Okay.
And
good.
when you use database.getQuery locator, which you are using in the start method during the return statement, database.getQuery locator, that will fetch 50 million records actually, that can handle.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Then these are the normal heap size limit, which you can go and check. And then regarding the error, when executing bulk records, normal Apex class are more vulnerable to encounter errors as compared to batch Apex. So these are some of the pointers which you can discuss. And then there are some advantages that every transaction starts with new governor limits and make it easier to ensure that it stays within the governor limit. And this is very important in terms of interview. If one batch fails, then all the batches transaction are not rolled back. So for example, we have divided the five batches. So if one batch is still failing, other will still not roll back. But what will happen to those set of records which are part of one batch?
Like the good data will get loaded, the bad data will not.
Shruti?
Smriti, can you please come again?
So for example, if one batch fails to process successfully, then all the batch transactions are not rolled back.
Not roll back. Only that particular batch will be failed. All those
Yeah.
records has to be processed again, but all the other batches will
Correct.
be successfully. Yeah.
Yes. So we are good here. So that is a theoretical aspect of batch Apex, and we saw
I have a
exactly
question
how.
here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so when we say that complete batch will get failed, batch process, so will all the records will roll back or a few records will be saved in that the batch which get failed?
Yeah, it depends on the method which you're using, no? Like if you're using a database DML operations or normal DML operations.
Okay.
If you are going for insert, like normal insert, then the complete one batch will be failed. If you are going for database.insert, then that particular records will be failed. All will be go ahead, fine. Fine.
Yeah, yes,
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now that we are clear with the theory point of view, I want to know, like, how many of you have completed this batch? So this trailhead, sorry.
Me, not Smriti. I have just completed yesterday the future
That's good. That's good.
trailhead.
Okay, okay. And how about Munmun, Aarti, Kyan?
No, Smriti, I didn't finish it up.
No,
Okay. So it will be a good place to start. And if someone has written as well, still they can try writing it. Soumya, have you done this?
Yes, Smriti.
Okay. So, okay. Then you have to find some complicated logic for you that time. Okay, so I'm just sharing the link and I want you guys to start writing it, and let's take next 20 minutes. So how you guys want to do? You want to, because yesterday what happened, you guys write it both at the same time, class and then the test class, and then we started. What is better, writing class and test class completely and then discuss, or just two class and then discuss, and then two class, test class and then discuss? What you guys think is a better approach?
We can discuss the class logic first and validate and then go for the test class if that's okay.
Okay, is it same for everyone?
Yeah, Smriti.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, cool. So let's do like that. Just right, because of that it took more time. So let's do this way. So waiting time is less. I'm just sharing the link. Okay. Yes, I've shared the link. Let's start working on it. Once people have done, just post on chat done. So we know if more number of people have done it, we will start discussing. Yeah, show the question first of all in the trailhead.
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, so it is actually telling us to create a Apex class of lead processor that uses the database .batchable interface that will implement this interface. And then we have to use the query locator in the start method to collect all the lead records. So what I first understood from this is that I'm gonna do a query, pull a query in the start method where I will collect all the lead source details of the from the lead object. Okay. And then in the execute method, must update all lead records in the auth with lead source value of Dreamforce. So in the start method, I have taken all the lead source value. So here in the execute method, I will be updating them with Dreamforce. Okay. So this test class we haven't done yet. So this is the part that I have implemented in the class. So, okay, so this is as per the syntax that we have, where lead processor implements database.batchable as object, and global database.query locator start. This is the database.batchable context PC. And here I'm taking the SOQL query, database.query locator. I'm pulling the query, and then it is the execute method that I have written here, database.batchable context PC. Here I am putting the records into the scope, and then we are doing a for loop on the scope. Okay. And l.lead source, the field that I have pulled from that records that we are pulling up from scope one by one using the for loop and updating them with Dreamforce. And then I'm finally updating my scope so that all the records get updated. Every time the scope pulls one record from the batch, And finally, we have the finish method. There's nothing to be written in the finish method. So the finish method is just like that.
So one pointer which I have, which I quickly see, do you think that we should need to create a list in which we should store, do the like add in the lead and then update that particular list? Like creating
But
a
isn't it Smriti, that we are having that in that list is that batch list is the scope. Herein we are updating the records from the scope. Okay, so you are telling a complete list for the leads only. That is what you are saying.
Yeah, I think that a new list should be created. Soumya, correct me if I'm wrong. So we should create a new list, right? And in that we should be
Yes.
adding this particular lead
Yeah,
and then updating it.
I think we should create a final list of leads, and then within the for loop we should add, and then outside we should update the final list.
Sorry.
Yeah, list of leads. Lead.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the mistake I did last time also.
Correct. So now you know that what you are missing.
Yeah, understood.
So can you explain that why you are creating a new list?
Yeah, so actually here in scope, what we are doing is we are like, for example, the batch is divided. So we are just updating for those batches, but we are not taking the complete list here. So to update in the complete list, we are creating this list, and then we are gonna add this and update it to this lead. That's what is to be done, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So
It will be dot add L. But do we not need to update the scope then? We will just
Now
update
lead.
update lead.
Yeah, update the lead.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Should do Control S? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I learned this mistake. I'm doing it yesterday also. I did it.
Okay. Guys, I have one question. So basically we can write it in the form of string as well. And then like we can do at the line number 4, like string SOQL, and then do select ID name from lead source from lead, and then like return, put the SOQL. So
Okay,
we can
dynamic
do,
you are telling that.
sorry?
Dynamic SOQL you are telling about it.
Yeah, so basically we can write a string and in that form, and then we can pass it to the parameter. That we can do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? Like, can we write in this way or not?
This should
But
work.
even I have written that, like a query, and you are telling that query should be written in a string of query, and we can pass that query, right?
So yeah, that is one way of writing. I'm just confirming that can we write in this way or not? Kushagra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shruti, we can try. I was with this.
Okay. So let's
work, Smriti.
Yeah, correct. So let's just can we just try to execute it for like a set limit and see if it is working?
Yeah. So for doing that, we need to do first write this, and then we need to give the batch size, or we can just do it with the batch size.
That's it. Just copy line. Yeah, this line. I will tell you.
Yeah.
Remove ID batch equal to.
Yeah. So here we'll just do database.execute batch. That's what you're saying, or we need to declare it?
Just remove equal to. And then in my instead of my batch object, put lead processor.
Yeah. Okay.
And write new before it. New before lead processor.
Okay, so instead of like adding a line wherein we are doing it lead processor, declaring an object, we are doing it directly here. That's what.
Correct.
Right?
So now, why you're putting 100 here?
No, I just copied from there, right?
No, I'm asking why we are.
Okay, this is the batch size that we want to run. I mean, 1 second. Yeah, so this is the scope that we are declaring here.
So basically from the lead, if they are like 50,000 leads, so we are just putting in the 100 of batches.
Yeah,
Correct.
like 50,000 by 100 we want.
So at a time, how many batch will run? Like records will be processed?
100 records.
Who said?
Yeah, this is Smriti. The batch size would be 100. The number of batches depends on the number of records fetched.
Yeah.
For example, say 50,000
like
records.
50,000 by 100.
Correct.
It's like the batch should be of 100 size.
Yeah, batch. And how many records will be there in each batch?
Yeah, 100 records. The batch size itself is 100, right?
Yeah, so 100 records will be there, right, Smriti?
Yeah, 100 records per batch. And the number of batches are the total number of records fetched by the batch size.
Yeah.
What I think, maybe I'm mistaken, but for example, there are 50,000 leads. So it will be 50,000 and the number of batches is 100. So it will be 50,000 divided by 100. That's what I think.
No, not like that. I think it's 50,000 by 100 are the number of batches. 50,000 when you say by 100, then you will have 500 batches, right? 500 batches, and each batch will contain 100 records.
I guess this is like we give the number of records in each transaction.
Yeah, that's the batch.
That is the right thing.
When we are working with data loader as well, we do the same, right? We give the batch.
Yes.
That is like how much we can process records at a time. So this is what we like here.
So what will be the number of records according to you?
Minimum can be 1 and maximum can be 2,000. You said, right, Smriti?
In this case, if we are having 50,000 lead records, so then what will be the number of records per batch? In this
number of records per batch.
100.
500.
The number of batch will be dependent on like 50,000, whatever
50
our
it is.
500. So that will be number of.
Wait. Okay, there are.
If it is 50,000 records, then it will be like 500 times that this batch will be running.
Yeah,
so
that
number of batches will be 500.
500.
And it will have 100 records. Each batch will have 100 records. So at a time, the Dreamforce will be updated on the lead source for 100 records.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we put a limit here and see for only 5 records?
Yeah, definitely we can put.
No, I'm saying, can we do that? I mean, Priya.
Yeah. So I'll just execute this, right? And I'll have it in my Apex job.
It will do for all the records. It will do. It will run for all of them basically.
Yeah, it will run for all of them, but it will take five records at a time, like.
Yeah.
And
but if we want to just do for 5, then what we'll do? What we will do?
Only for 5 records if you want to process, you need to say.
Yes.
So we have to do it in the query, I guess, on the 5th line.
Correct.
You have to limit in the query, right? Then.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So can we try to put in the limit section so that we just check for 5 and not update for everyone?
Please correct me if I'm doing this wrong because.
You are correct.
Yeah, limit 5.
Yeah.
So here it will be 1 batch now.
5 or 1, anything.
Now it will be 5 batches. When you
Now
put
it
one,
is
when you put one, it will be 5 batches.
Yes, yes, yes. Correct.
sorry, I'm not clear. So here I am. So here I'm limiting it, like at a time I'm taking 5 records only. Okay, 5 batches, because I'm not taking 50,000.
Yeah.
So in itself I have 5, and so one by one it is 5 times. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Do you want to execute it?
After the class name, the brackets are missing. So
Yeah, correct.
After lead.
Sorry.
After lead processor, within the braces, you have written new lead processor, right? In the analysis window.
One second, I will tell. So here only, after lead processor, after lead processor. No. Just remove it. After lead processor. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. This is what you are saying.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, how we can check, Priya?
I will go to the Apex job and I'll see that
It's completed or failed. Let's see.
Yeah, and then I can go to the lead object and
yeah, let's see.
Okay, so this is completed, lead processor. So
now just wait here. Just go. Okay, firstly go there, then we will come back. Go to that.
Yeah, okay. So I already have one lead open.
Updated.
Yeah, it is updated. Dreamforce.
Okay, now go back to Apex jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shruti, why it is showing total batches of 32?
Acha. Yeah, because I think in this org we have 32, maybe we have more number of records, but when it comes to the start method, it is limiting to 5 and then it is doing like that. Maybe in this org we might have more records, while fetching it is limited to 5, right? I think that is the case.
But when we do limit 5, it should only fetch 5 records.
Yes, it should limit, because when I ran in my org, it was doing for only 5. It showed total batches 5 and batch process 5. So,
but why here for that?
Yeah, that's what we are trying to understand.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Does anyone know how to pin this screen share option?
So
okay. No problem. I'll just minimize this. Actually, I'm not able to see the tabs. Yeah, please carry on then. Sorry. I just wanted to see that how many leads I have in my org and how many are updated. So there are 32 records. It has updated all.
So maybe that query is not taking 32 records. Is it what? Is there any problem in the query? Like, so when it is doing like this? Priya, can you check from the lead object all records? Is it updated for all the leads, all these 32 lead source? See, it is updated for all the leads.
Yeah, that's what I pulled the export, right, in the from the inspector. So it has updated the lead source. All the lead source was empty for these 32 leads. It has taken Dreamforce for all of them.
Yeah.
So just can I share screen for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
On the same note. Yeah.
Yes.
What I think, maybe I'm wrong, but what I think, if we put it like this, it is working perfectly. When we are putting in the string query and then passing it. Because when I ran it, and if I go to Apex job, total 5 are running. If I go to my leads, they are much more than 32, but like that, it is just doing for 5. Let me just check. second query. Oh no, this is for accounts. Okay, okay. So this one I wrote for accounts earlier, right? So when I wrote for accounts, that time I had much more than 32, like much more than 5, right? Like at least for more than 5, right? But it is still targeting only 5 at a time. I think it is because of the query which we are putting in. I think it is because of this query.
Okay, so what you have done is you have done a query string type variable. You have put the SQL query values into that and then return this query. Okay,
Yes,
got
yes.
it.
If we put that way, I think it should work. Let's try. Okay, so I'm just giving this one. Let's try this and let's see. 1 second. Right. Shruti, do you want to drop off?
No, no, Smriti. I was just confused.
Earlier you put it. Oh, got it, got it. I just saw it. Sorry, I got confused. I won't let you drop off. So guys, one good info, interesting info. So Shruti is very like wants to be very active, and she was finding group of people who want to like continue and don't discontinue. So I said, whatever happens now, you can't discontinue because you are finding this kind of people. Yeah, Priya, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
This is okay, right?
Yeah, it looks okay. Let's try.
Okay, so Smriti, now all my leaves are updated to Dreamforce. So shall I update? Shall I give some other name and try?
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes. Keep it as one only. Just execute it. Now go there. Okay. Only aggregate expression using use field aliasing.
Query error. Query. You haven't given comma. Lead source ending.
Go to developer console. We will see what it is.
Give comma after lead source.
oh yeah, sorry. I actually don't need.
See, now it worked, right?
It's fine.
So what we learned?
Okay, so we have to pass the string dynamically. We have to pass the query inside the get query locator.
Yeah. Go to developer console, Priya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have seen, right? For the first 5 records, only for 5 records it has processed. And just to show people, I'm just giving you a query. Just run it. Okay. Just give me one second.
Can you guys see my screen? Like, see, only for 5 this is updated Salesforce. Remaining all are Dreamforce out of the 32 records.
Okay. And Priya, I'm just putting something on chat. Just show them that there's one more way of doing it, checking it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, guys, we didn't realize yesterday we were connected for 2 hours.
Yeah, you have to minimize it, like, so you'll find the chat window. Yeah, minimize, like, yeah, this window as well. Minimize this. Yeah, minimize this as well, and then click on Zoom. Then it will be on the desktop.
What is this, Smriti? Like, yeah. Okay, this is a second.
Okay. Were you able to see what I sent?
Yeah.
Just copy paste it and put it in the log, in the query editor.
Sorry, put it where?
Here only, instead of select ID lead source, remove it.
Okay, got it. In the inspector you are telling me.
Yeah, yes. And change the ID.
Yeah. I'll give the Apex job ID. That's what needed to be given, right?
Yes. So guys, you understand, right? We can obviously see it from here, and also we can put the Apex job ID, and like that we can see just to monitor.
Yeah.
Is it like these are some of the interview questions which you just remember? Batch Apex they will never ask you to write it. You just need to remember how it works. So you can see, right? Job process 5, total job items 5. It's completed. So we are good, right?
Yes, Smriti.
Cool. So
Yes.
let's quickly move ahead to the test class for the same one, and then someone else can show. But Priya, please write as well.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yes, go ahead. So let's take 10 minutes time, write quickly the test class, and then we will discuss. And if you have any doubts, you can check that SFD Simplified blog. There also have written a test class. You can try writing according to that.
Smriti, can you just share that link once more, please, in the chat? I did not receive it actually.
Yeah, I will put it.
I have a question for everyone here. What is batchable context? What we are using the parameter? What exactly is that? And all the methods.
Gyan, batchable context is the records that we are considering for that particular scope. Means that size. For example, we are giving the size 100, right? So my batchable context will be for 100.
So you mean that's the size?
Basically, it's a context variable to pass the variables between these methods like start, finish, and execute. All these methods to communicate between these 3 methods, we are using context variables. Like what Priya said, the same thing. It will in the first context for the first 100 records, it will be communicating between these 3.
Gyan, just to add, what I understood is, like, for example, there are 500 records. We are considering first 100 records. So this batchable context will specify that we are not taking any other 100 slots. We are just using the 100 that we have used in start method, the same 100 in execute.
Basically,
and if we are doing something in finish, then in finish as well.
So right? Is it like it will contain the job ID, right? So first job is done. So if you would like to have that ID for the first job, so will we get that from the database.batchable?
Yeah, we got the job ID, right? That's what we give in the async Apex job to run. How many are? I mean, I'm not sure if these two, how these two are related. Actually, I'm not getting the query again. I think then. What you are asking?
again once. I am not understanding.
Yeah, Shruti. So we have a batchable context, right? Something.
Okay.
And so what exactly is that?
So you mean to say that variable is only for that context, like for one particular batch, that variable will be existing for that. Again, for other batch, again it will be refreshed, like next 100 records.
Okay.
It is valid only for that context, for one batch, like that. It's a context variable.
Gyan, I think it will have the batch job ID, because for every different scope running, the batch job ID will change. I think it should have it will contain the batch job ID, right?
Right. Yes, that's what I wanted. Yeah. So basically,
Because
all the batch. So we have given a scope, like I mean the batch number 200 or 500. So it runs in the batches, right? So every batch ID it will hold that. So we can use that in the execute method to if we are getting an error in any particular job, we can, with using the job ID, we can have a list and we can place all the error batches in that. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
So batchable context holds the ID of that particular batch, right?
Right. Particular specific batch. Yeah, because there will be different batches, right? If let's say if I have like 500 records and like let's say if I have like 100 is the maximum batch size I have given, so that means 5 batches, right? So we can get all the 5 batches job ID. And query, we can save it in the list and we can query, okay, if the first job ID, first transaction batch, if it has any errors, do this, or else continue ahead with the continuing with the next job batches. That's how.
Got it. Thank you. So it does not hold the records. It will hold the ID of the batch.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, like basically it is an interface, batchable context, which has 2 methods. So that's one of the method to get the job ID. The other is like getting a child. So like current job which is running, we can get that ID as well using the other method from that interface.
So basically, overall job ID we have, and also batch job ID also we have. You mean to say that?
Right. Yes. So there are 2 methods in this interface, which is batchable. That's an interface, and it is internally implemented by Apex. So we like here we have implemented in the class. We have used implement keyword after the class, and we implemented database.batchable, right? That is the interface. So similarly, batchable context is also an interface, but it is internally implemented by Apex, so we don't have to implement externally. However, there are 2 methods. One is to get the job ID. That is for each batch. We have a batch ID that is called a job ID. We can have it and save it in the list, and even the current job which is running. So for that also there is a method, get child job ID. So we can use even that method.
So Gyan, basically we can use this job ID or batch ID for debugging purpose if certain batch has failed or
exactly, yes, we can create a list. We can get all the job IDs which are running into the list, and based, like if there are errors, if there are any errors in any of the batch, so do this, just continue it. We can do like that.
So one question, Gyan. That means if there are 5 batches, like 500 records are there, 5 is the batch size I have given. Sorry, 100 is the batch size I have given. So 5 batches will be there. So there will be 5 job IDs, right?
Exactly, yes.
So for job IDs, we are doing it in database.batchable context as we discussed. But then for the entire job ID, how we are
so you know
getting that?
So you know interface, right? We use the method, right? We don't have a body. So in that there is a method called get job ID. So in that method we can write a query and we can save it in the list, all the job IDs.
Okay.
So basically that means a list of job IDs. Okay, this is first job, second job, third job. So those particular batch will have ID. So those job ID, we will save it in the list, and then we can query based on our requirement.
Okay. No, that I understood. I mean, that is the job, but complete job. You were telling now that this batch process will have one job ID, like with the one we searched now.
Which one you are searching?
No, no.
So
there will be one. See, there will be one. We discussed, right? There will be one complete job ID for the complete batch, and there will be per batch job IDs, right?
Mm-hmm.
One batch ID and per batch job ID.
Mm-hmm.
Did I understand it wrong?
If you can show the screen, and can you I guess Priti has shared you some code. If you can copy that, we can.
I will just send it in the chat. Just a minute. So here this ID is there, right? Which is created in which we are monitoring in the Apex job.
Here is the query, the one which Smriti has sent.
Oh, I send it to Smriti. Just a second, one.
Whoever is showing, can they share the screen?
Smriti, I'm not showing anything. I just copy pasted the query that you gave in the chat to tell Gyan about the job ID that I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. So we are good there, right?
Yeah.
So because of the time, I think test class we can do as a homework. I think discussing interview questions is more important. What you guys think?
Yes, Smriti, we'll do the test class as the homework for tomorrow, and we'll.
Yeah. So just take test class as homework. Let's discuss the interview questions because that is more important. So how to execute batch Apex class using developer console? We already did that. So I'm just moving ahead. How to log status of completed batch job status? Can someone tell that?
Log how to log status of a completed batch job status.
Well,
I think that Gyan was telling, right? Q job. I'm forgetting.
There is a class.
Smriti, we also have a status field inside the async Apex job object. Like if you get the status, then you can log it.
Yeah, correct. So we can query the async Apex job, which we just tried to do also with Priya's code, and like that we are able to do it. And another way is again that we can monitor through the Apex jobs and see that the completed in every section. See the log.
Yeah.
How to execute batch Apex class for every 30 minutes?
Yeah, for
we
that
can schedule it, right?
Yeah, we should implement the schedulable interface and then schedule it.
Correct.
And we can also do it through cron, like it shows every 30 minutes, and every field has some significance, like which day of the week, what time. So we can schedule it using this.
Yeah.
Correct. So then moving ahead, just a second. Schedule Apex we are not going for now. Let's move ahead. Can we call future method from a batch Apex from execute method? Sandeep. Okay. Vinay. Okay, Munmun, can you answer?
What's the question again? Can we call future method
from batch Apex from execute method?
Execute think it's possible because they both are asynchronous.
No, we cannot call from execute method.
Okay.
Is there any way through which we can call? See, these kind of tricky questions they ask. Can we call future from batch, batch from future, which method from which we can call, which we cannot call? So just try to remember those pointers. Because in batch, mostly theory will be coming. They will not, they never ask you to implement batch like a whiteboard or something. Is there any way through which we can call future method from batch Apex?
From batch, we can call normal method, and then from normal method,
What do you mean by normal method?
or trigger, or any class.
Apex class.
Is there any way we can call future method from batch Apex?
No.
Smriti, I think directly we cannot call, but I think we can use web services and one.
Yeah, correct. As we know that web service can be called from batch class and web service can call future method. So in your batch class, we can call web service in which we can call future method. That is very interesting actually. Correct?
Yeah, yesterday also we came across this, right?
That was like we cannot call web services from trigger. So from trigger we call future method. From future method we call web services. So what are the different things we need to consider using future method? I think that is annotation and all that. So I'm just skipping schedule class. I'm skipping right now.
So here it is like you cannot execute, you cannot call from execute method, but you can call from finish method, no?
So they are saying that just a second.
Because execute will be executing for number of times the number of batches. Finish will be executing only once. So from there you can call the future method.
Just 1 second. I'm trying to find that question and I've lost it. Is it possible? Can we call future method from execute? No. As we know, web service can be called from batch class, and web service can call future method. So your batch class web service which can be called from future method. So we will be calling web services, and from that we can call. And also you can call from the finish method in batch class.
Yeah, so this is the simplest one. Like from execute we cannot call, but from the finish we can call.
Correct. And also if you want, then we have to call the web services and through which
web services also.
Correct. Then I'm just moving away from scheduler. Once we discuss it, then we will come back. How to handle error record in batch Apex. So, okay. How to handle error records in batch Apex? Like someone is knowing the answer for this?
I clicked through batchable context. I don't know.
Like Jan mentioned, no, we can get the job ID and see there's a function,
Like we have in the same async Apex job, Smriti, we have fields like number of errors and job items process. From there only we can get it.
So see, this is very important actually. So they are saying that we can do it using the database.stateful. And because of that, we will be implementing database.stateful in the implements. And then they are saying that we will be maintaining the failed records. So using a global variable. And then because of that, we will be having the result. And that's how we will be able to maintain the failed results to check the errors.
Acha, okay.
Yeah. So this one is very important actually in terms of interview. So do you guys, not right now, but do you guys want to discuss it in detail tomorrow or not needed, or how is it?
Yes, we will discuss this tomorrow.
Okay. So Munmun, I give you this as a task that once we start, then you start discussing and we will help you in that.
Okay. The scenario.
Database.stateful, because it's very important.
Okay, sure.
Then just a second. What are the SQL limitations in Apex?
In a single transaction, you can have 100 SQLs.
Total number is of records they're expecting is 50,000. Okay. and transaction limitation in Apex. Those numbers we can skip. I think you can
For
learn that.
asynchronous, it is 200.
They are trying to check about the number of records, so that will be 50
Means,
million.
in one transaction, you can have 100 SOQLs, and one SOQL can query 50,000. They mean to say, I think.
Yeah, right. That's what they want to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And if you do normal query, then it will be only 10,000. Maybe when it is database dot query, then it is 50,000.
Correct. Then what is need of batch Apex? We have learned that. What is database.batchable interface? So we just discussed that. Then methods are start, execute, and finish. Then purpose of start. So what is database.query locator? What does it do? Vishwanath, can you tell me?
Yeah, just now we have discussed in the batch processing, right? In the start method, you are doing, you are declaring the return type of the method as database.queryLocator, and you are getting from database.getQueryLocator, and that will be collecting in a database.queryLocator.
Correct. And what is sometimes this comes because iteratable we don't use, right? So if we use iteratable, the government limit of the records is still enforced. So just check about iteratable more. Sometimes it comes in interviews.
Okay.
Execute we know anyways. And then how many times execute method is called? Execute method is called for each batch of records.
Yeah.
That we have learned. Then what is the scope of execute method? The maximum is 2000, minimum is 1, and default is 200. Can we call out batch Apex?
Yes, we can do that.
Can we call another batch Apex from one batch Apex?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, changing is possible.
Yes.
Finish method.
Correct.
Yeah, we can do.
How many callouts can we can call in batch Apex?
I think
500.
So we can call either in start method and so they have not put the number, so you can check that. But they are saying yes, you can call a batch either in start or finish. That someone said, right? We can do in start and finish. So how many we are there? Limited to one call.
5 batch jobs can be queued at a time, I think. 5 batch jobs.
Yeah, but the question was how many callouts we can call.
Callouts.
So there is one callout per execution. Then batch is synchronous or asynchronous. It is async. What is the maximum size of batch? We have already discussed that. So moving ahead.
Yeah.
What is database.batchable context? So you are clear on that, right?
Yeah, we discussed.
Okay. And tracking again we can do using the async job status, which we have discussed using the job ID, which we have discussed thoroughly. Then how many jobs can be added? Someone said 5.
5.
Right.
Yeah.
Then what is database.stateful interface? Like, does someone has some idea right now? This is very important.
Yeah, I can tell. The value of a variable cannot be what is that, maintained across all the methods. Like if you declare a variable in start method, the value cannot be what do you call accessible. Like if you declare a is equal to 5 in start method, in execute method, a will still be 0. You cannot access a value. So to have the access of the variable across all the methods in batch Apex, we implement the interface batchable, what is that? Database.stateful.
To maintain the state.
Smriti, I would like to add Priya here.
Okay,
so actually, hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there can be two kind of scenarios wherein in one execute method we will need the a previous execute method, or in finish method we will need the previous execute method. Okay. So in if we need this, if we don't need this, then we need database.stateful to implement this when in the relation part.
I think it will be more clear once we discuss tomorrow by seeing the code. But yeah, we have got some basic idea. Then what is database.allow callouts? To use a callout, we use the database.allow callouts. Okay, that we are clear. Then async Apex job object we are already clear. And when a batch Apex worker record is created, for each 10,000 async Apex jobs record, Apex creates one additional record of type batch Apex worker for internal use. That is something new to know. So just remember it. Then example of batch Apex, we have already done that. That's it. So these are the questions. Just give me 1 second, guys.